member of our crew today is Danielle McCartan. Danielle?
It's Alumni Weekend here, but when I talk to the coaches and players, they always talk about there's a level of familiarity between the Ivy League teams, and we're seeing that today, especially between Dartmouth and Princeton. As you guys had mentioned, Addie Messier, assistant coach for Dartmouth, was a product of Courtney Banghart. She played for her for 4 years. Now, Courtney Banghart, she went to Dartmouth. Her 2 degrees are from Dartmouth, one in a bachelor's in neuroscience. Yes, you heard that right, neuroscience. So she was also a player for Dartmouth. She won a title, 2 titles as a player, 2 titles as an assistant coach, and her efforts were helped her get enshrined into the Dartmouth College Hall of Fame class of 2004. It's going to be a great one today. Lots of crossovers, and you'll see. Back to you, John and Dave.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And Alumni Weekend here at Jadwin Gymnasium, and Danielle is with a Princeton alumni.
So I'm here with Alex Wheatley, class of 2016. She was a 2-time first-team All-Ivy League player. She was on the 30-0 team that won one of the first rounds of the NCAA tournament. What made that team so special?
I think we had a really good balance on the court. I mean, we had Blake as our point guard, led the floor really well. We had an inside game, an outside game, and I think we prided ourselves on defense, which brought us through that incredible season.
Some things haven't changed.
Yes.
Coach Banghart, she was your coach, and the culture that she has up has been incredible. Describe the culture then and what that has done for you as an adult graduating Princeton.
I think it's a family. Princeton is not an easy place to play or to study, and I think we work hard for each other, which just means that we continue to play for each other and to look out for each other even after we graduate. I mean, it's Alumni Weekend, and we have 45 people back in the stands tonight.
That's crazy.
It's awesome.
All right, back to you, John and Dee. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Danielle. You mentioned that 30-0 season for the Princeton Tigers. Let's send it over to the third member of our team, Danielle.
We are deep in Eagles country in Princeton, New Jersey. There were some lessons learned from Minnesota that made their way back to New Jersey. I talked to Gabrielle Rush, and she told me that she learned 2 things from this Super Bowl. One of them being to never count yourself out. Gabrielle Rush also told me that you should persevere through the ups and downs of a long season. Obviously, she's referring to Nick Foles and his historic run from being a backup quarterback to Super Bowl MVP, defeating Tom Brady, the best quarterback in history to ever play the game. Now, Courtney Banghart, Coach Banghart, is a Patriots fan, born and raised as a Patriots fan. She likened her team to the Patriots in the sense that they are the hunted. She hopes to continue instilling the Patriots way here at Princeton. That means the legacy, tradition, and sustained excellence. Back to you, John and Dee.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And that is interesting, a coach taking that idea about being the hunted. Let's send it over to the third member of our crew, Danielle.
Hi guys, so it's Alumni Weekend here. There are 42 women's basketball alumni in attendance with their families here today. That says a lot about Coach Banghart and the program that she runs here. She was very excited to tell me that there are 5 decades worth of alumni here, dating back to the 1970s. There are 10 players from the 70s teams here. I also spoke with Gabrielle Rush, and she told me that since it's Alumni Weekend, you have to play with a little bit of extra. Back to you, Dee and John.
And Danielle McCartan is with a couple of Princeton women's basketball alumni. Danielle?
Yeah, they were very excited to talk with me today. I'm sitting with Janet Youngholm from 1975, Victoria Bjorklund, 1973, and Abby Rubenfeld, 1975. And what they all have in common is they were all on the first women's basketball team here at Princeton. So I'm going to give it over to them. I just want to know, what was the difference playing then as what it is now?
Well, look at this fabulous gym. We weren't allowed to play in this gym. We had to play after the men's intramurals finished in Dillon Gym. I went to ask for a ball in the fall of 1970 to shoot baskets, and they wouldn't give me balls because they were only for the men, not for the girls. Look at all the wonderful resources we have now.
And in addition, our first season we had to play in tunics, very heavy cotton dress-like outfits, which were humiliating for most of us who came from playing hoops in high school and were used to wearing shorts and uniform tops. And the other thing is we had a 10-game season. They play 20, 25, 30 games now. We had a part-time coach who had never coached basketball before, and we had maybe 3 or 4 people in the gym if we could get the intramural guys off of Dillon. So it's extraordinary what has happened here, and it makes us all very, very proud.
In our second year, we had to buy our own jerseys and iron on our numbers ourselves. I wore one earlier today, but look how far it's come. Like now, the men and the women do like drills and do clinics together. It's like the coolest thing. And we have Coach Banghart, who deserves a raise.
All right, thank you guys, all three of you. Thank you. They were very eager. We had to get them all on. So John and Dee, backing over to you guys.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And it's great to hear from those Ivy League champions back in the mid-'70s. Let's send a bounce pass over to the third member of our crew, Danielle McCartney.
Thanks, John. Hey, last thing I'm going to say about Alumni Weekend is that Blake Deitrick is probably the most notable Princeton women's basketball alumni to come out of here. She was the class of 15. She is not here today. She is in Greece. She is prepping for the next spring training or training for the WNBA. Coach Banghart thinks she's going to get a shot. She's been on the phone with some of the coaches in the league talking about her intangibles. She called her a stud, and Gabrielle Rush told me that when she does come, she is such an inspiration to these girls and everybody, in fact, in this program. Back over to you, John and Dee.
Thanks very much, Danielle. Last season, Deitrick became the second Ivy League player ever to make a WNBA roster as she made the Seattle Storm's opening night roster. And our player of the game today is Abby Meyers, career-high 19 points, and she's with Danielle McCartney.
Hi, guys. All right, so yes, I'm here with Abby Meyers, and she has a career-high 19 points. Huge game for you today. What are you seeing offensively that maybe differed from any other game you played this year?
I think it's just the support from my teammates and coaches. I had a little slump, I would say, mid through the season, but it was just staying confident and working with my teammates and their support.
Cool. Now, it seems as though Princeton, the game plan is that you guys like to take an early lead and never relinquish it. What does that do for the opposing team when that happens?
I mean, it puts them on an upward hill for fighting the entire time, so it's just us trying to play harder than them and get the dub in the end.
Now, this is your freshman. This is your first Alumni Weekend experience. So I just want to know, how did that go for you? What was it like interacting with the alumni pregame and throughout the whole weekend?
I mean, it was amazing. I remember looking on social media last year as a senior in high school and kind of seeing the pictures and stuff and just wanting to be there. And I'm here this year. It was great. I got to meet so many alumni here, doing so many amazing things right now.
Now, what is maybe the best story that you heard from one of them?
Best story? Ooh, well, we got 2 Wyoming people and who are living there right now, and I love Wyoming, the Grand Tetons, and they have an extra room in their house for me if I want to go, over there, travel over there. So that was cool.
That's great. See,
yeah.
The Princeton family extends throughout the United States, not just here in New Jersey.
Right.
Okay, guys. John and Dee, back to you, and great game.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And, just another impressive win for Princeton this weekend. And